Hello and welcome to yet another YouTube video here on this channel. Today we are inside of Notion and I'm continuing the series where I talk about what I hate about different note-taking and productivity apps, and today it is Notion. So there are a couple of things I don't like or I hate with Notion. The first thing is that it is really slow. It has gotten a little bit better, but it is still slow, and I don't even have too many things inside of my Notion workspace. But the more you put inside of it, the slower it gets. The second thing I hate is actually the mobile app, which isn't native. It is hard to work with, and it doesn't uh, look like the web version or the app on desktop. I don't think that a great mobile app is necessarily something you need, but you need a way to capture things while you are on the go and you can organize them later. And I have done that here with some quick capturing for notes, for social media ideas, or for tasks. And I also do have a navigation bar here. If I ever need to jump on my mobile, I will be able to navigate through it as well. But especially on the weeks or months where I travel a lot, Notion has been a problem, and that's one of the reasons I quit. The last thing I hate about Notion, which probably is the most important one, is the fact that you have to know what system you are going to use in advance because you're going to have to build it. So whether that's getting things done for your tasks or GTD for your tasks, or it is Para or it is Zettelkasten for your notes, you have to actually know how you're going to take notes and know how you are going to set up your productivity systems before you start, which is something I'm not necessarily a big fan of. I am a much bigger fan of trial and error and just finding a system and doing some tweaks to it. For example, with Para, tweaking it a little bit to fit you better. I'm more of a fan of that. But Notion is quite hard to actually tweak once you have set up your initial workspace, or not necessarily hard, but it is time consuming, and a lot of us do this as productive procrastination instead of doing actual work. We tweak our productivity system, and it is just hard when you are starting out to actually know where what your system is going to be. And for some of us, like myself, for example, I changed jobs 6 months ago, around 6 months ago, and then you will have to actually archive everything from your last job and start setting up a new page for your new job. And even for my tasks, I had to add a new a tag in order to be able to get the task database into the page and so on and so forward. So changing is a little bit hard inside of it. The good thing is that it is possible to change, but it takes a lot of time and you will need to know how you are going to set it up in advance. I know that there are a lot of great templates out there and you can buy one of those and just start with that, but you will eventually need to tweak the templates as well. And in order to do that, you will actually have to know how Notion works. So the learning curve is a bit of a problem there as well. It is huge. You can do so much with it, but the learning curve is huge. And I wouldn't honestly categorize this as a good note-taking app. It isn't the best for taking notes. I mean, you can take notes inside of here, and it is possible to take notes inside of here, but it doesn't do the greatest job. So even though I know a lot of students love this, and I understand why, it isn't my favorite for taking basic notes. And the last thing is the calendar integration, which people have been waiting for a long time. It is probably coming in 5 days or so from the day this video is filmed. It is around 5 days until they are releasing some news, and it looks like it is probably a calendar integration, but I will do a separate video when that update comes out. Honestly, it is a great app for productivity and as a life operating system. It just simply didn't work for me because of some of the things I hate or dislike about the app. And it is like that with every single note taking app or every single productivity app. There are things I don't like about Tools or about My Mind or about ClickUp or any app, but in the case of Notion, it simply just didn't work for me. And you shouldn't be pressured into building yourself these beautiful looking pages if they are not going to make you any more productive. If you spend more time customizing and making things beautiful than you actually do working, you will get into a problem. The last thing I'm going to mention is the privacy part, which is probably the killer, which ended with me going into AnyType instead of this because I do like having beautiful pages. Unfortunately, I do, but there are privacy aspects of this as well, and I know that a lot of people changed to Obsidian because of that. I changed to AnyType because of the privacy. I haven't always been too worried about privacy, but for the last year or so, I have gotten more worried about it, and I want to own my own data in order to move it when I want and to have it be accessible even if I'm offline as well. And that's just some of the things I dislike about Notion, which made me change apps, even though Notion was my first step into the productivity space and the second brain space. I have a few things that just doesn't work for me personally. Let me know your thoughts down below. Are you using Notion or have you changed to something else? If you have any questions, any apps you want me to review, anything, just comment it down below and I will try to get to it as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching today's video.